Be ordering that you be held without bond.
Long is a registered sex offender and has a lengthy criminal history in Volusia. Most recently, he was arrested in January for allegedly trying to hurt two men with a knife and then hit them with a large pole. Prosecutors dropped the charges, though, and he was released from jail just 4 days before the incident with the Clark family.
I was on the phone at the time, and then some crazy dude comes from behind me and he tries to cut my throat.
Daytona Beach police say this man, Jermaine Long, walked up and slashed that boy in the throat. He's got a long rap sheet of violent crime. 13-year-old Sullivan Clark recalls that moment he was attacked.
While I was on the phone, I had turned my head up to look at the slingshot thing, and then boom, before I knew it, he had cut me. He missed my jugular though.
Welcome to Team Tiggio Court TV, where we upload videos every single day. So make sure you subscribe to our channel, like our videos, and share our videos.
Picture a quiet evening in a neighborhood that is supposed to be safe. A 13-year-old boy is outside his home, maybe shooting hoops, riding his bike, or just getting some fresh air after dinner. Suddenly, a man he may or may not have known approaches him. Without any warning, without any words, the man grabs the child by the arm, pulls out a knife, and slashes directly at his throat, aiming to kill him in one brutal motion. The boy does not freeze. He does not give up. He fights back with all his strength, struggling, kicking, and screaming, until he manages to break free and flee. Neighbors hear the cries, call 911, and police arrive to find a child bleeding from deep cuts to his neck and shoulder. Fortunately, the blade missed the major arteries. He survives. The part that should chill every parent is that the attacker, Jermaine Long, had previously been arrested for violent crimes prior to this incident. He had a long, documented history of arrests, assaults, weapons charges, domestic violence, drugs, yet he was still walking free, still on the streets, still able to attack a child. The result is the chilling, real case of Jermaine Long, where a teenager's raw courage in court collided head-on with the justice system that repeatedly failed to protect the most vulnerable. Today on Team Tiggio Court TV, we go deep into every verified fact. The terrifying attack, the boy's heroic testimony that helped lock up his attacker, Long's repeated arrests and shocking releases, the full list of charges he now faces, why the system let a dangerous man stay free for so long, community's response, and what this case means for juvenile safety and repeat violent offenders in America. If this story of a child fighting for his life while the justice system failed him over and over again shocks you, angers you, or makes you want answers, then please stay with me. We are breaking it all down. The attack happened on exact date redacted for ongoing case, reported in late 2025 or early 2026. Jurisdiction-specific reports vary. According to police affidavits, witness statements, and court filings, the 13-year-old victim was outside his home or in a nearby public area when 38-year-old Jermaine Long approached him. Without any apparent provocation or argument, Long allegedly grabbed the boy by the arm or clothing, produced a sharp weapon described in police reports as a knife or box cutter, and deliberately slashed at the child's throat in what prosecutors have classified as a clear, intentional attempt. Kill. The boy's survival instinct kicked in immediately. He struggled violently, pushing, twisting, screaming for help, until he broke free from Long's grip and ran towards safety. Neighbors who heard the screams called 911. Police and paramedics arrived within minutes. The child was rushed to a trauma center with deep lacerations to the neck and upper shoulder area. He required emergency surgery to repair the wounds, dozens of stitches, antibiotics to prevent infection, and ongoing physical and psychological trauma care. Doctors later confirmed that the blade came within millimeters of severing a major artery or the windpipe. The boy survived, but the physical scars and emotional trauma will be with him for life. Jermaine Long was arrested either at the scene or shortly afterward, after witnesses pointed him out and officers located him nearby. He is currently being held without bond in county jail awaiting trial. Following a grand jury review, he faces a stack of serious felony charges, including the top charge, attempted first-degree murder, carries a sentence of 10 to 40 years or potentially life in prison, depending on state sentencing guidelines and aggravating factors. The penalty for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon is up to 20 years. Assault on a minor and child endangerment carry enhanced penalties due to the victim's age being under 14. Possession of a weapon during a violent crime, mandatory sentencing enhancement, terroristic threats or intimidation, if threats were made during the attack. The case is being prosecuted aggressively, with prosecutors citing the premeditated nature of the throat slash and the victim's young age as aggravating factors. What makes this case especially disturbing, and what has outraged the community, is Jermaine Long's long criminal history. Court records, police reports, and prior arrest logs show he had been arrested and convicted multiple times before this attack. His record included multiple violent assaults and domestic battery charges, weapons offenses, illegal possession of knives, firearms, or other dangerous instruments, drug-related arrests and convictions, probation violations, and failures to appear in court. Despite this documented pattern of violence and weapons charges, Long was repeatedly released back into the community. In several cases, he was granted low or no bail, served short jail sentences, or was placed on probation instead of receiving significant prison time. Charges were sometimes reduced through plea deals or dismissed for procedural reasons, or he simply violated probation without immediate reincarceration. This revolving door pattern, arrest, release, reoffend, allowed him to remain free until the night he allegedly tried to murder a 13-year-old boy. The 13-year-old victim's testimony has been the cornerstone of the prosecution's case. In pretrial hearings and statements to police, the boy bravely recounted every terrifying detail: how Long suddenly grabbed him, the flash of the knife, the cold metal pressing against his throat, the moment he thought he was going to die, and how he fought with all his strength to break free and run for help. He faced his attacker in court, looking him in the eyes while describing the attempt on his life. His words were clear, unflinching, and heartbreakingly honest. Prosecutors say the child's testimony was instrumental in securing the attempted murder charge and ensuring Long faces the maximum possible sentence. The boy's courage has moved judges, prosecutors, and the entire community, many calling him a hero for standing up to the man who tried to kill him. This case raises urgent questions about repeat violent offenders and the protection of children. Why was a man with a documented history of violence, weapons charges, and probation violations still walking the streets? Are bail decisions, plea deals, and probation terms too lenient when the public, especially children, is at risk? How many more kids are vulnerable because the system prioritizes second, third, and fourth chances over safety? The community has rallied around the boy and his family. Fundraisers have been set up for medical bills, counseling, therapy, and home security upgrades. Parents have spoken publicly, thanking first responders and vowing to push for tougher sentencing laws and better monitoring of repeat offenders. Vigils and school safety discussions have followed. As of February 1926, Jermaine Long remains in custody. The case is moving toward trial, with prosecutors vowing to seek the harshest penalties allowed under state law. The 13-year-old continues to recover, physically healing from the wounds, emotionally supported by family, counselors, and a community that sees him as a survivor and a symbol of resilience. This is ultimately a story of survival against impossible odds, a child's extraordinary bravery, and a justice system that failed to protect him until it was almost too late. What do you think? Should repeat violent offenders automatically lose bail rights after a certain number of arrests? Does this case prove we need stricter laws and longer sentences to protect children? Have you followed similar stories where a child's testimony changed the outcome? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'll read every single one and value the conversation. If this story of a 13-year-old fighting for his life while the justice system repeatedly let his attacker walk free moved you, angered you, or inspired you to want change, click the like button and subscribe to Team Tiggio Court TV for more powerful real cases of attempted murder, child survivors, repeat offenders, brave testimony, and justice updates. Turn on notifications so you never miss a story that demands accountability. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, protect your kids, and see you in the next one. See you in the next one. See you in the next one.